Hey guys, I'm back from the regional championship here in Europe, in Naples it was. And yeah, wow, it was very, very intense. I flew Friday in and Sunday back. And overall, it was, yeah, it couldn't have gone better, really. The team I'd worked with decided to play Reactors Atraxa. 5 of us played that deck. One of us played Mono White, one of us played Mono Red Aggro, and 4 of us chose the version of Esper Legends that is right in front of you right now. And for the 4 of us, it went incredibly well. If you didn't see it, you can go on Twitch, Legacy European Tour, I think is the name, and you can watch the VODs of the tournament. On my Twitter, which is down in the description, you see a bunch of pictures and posts about the tournament. Nico Boni, Torov Severin, Lucas Honey, and myself, we had an incredible win rate. Toffel lost in the finals, Nico made 3rd place, I made 18th, and Lucas 39th. We all qualified for the Pro Tour. Lucas already was qualified for the Pro Tour. He also conceded the last round. He was 10-4. Maybe if he would have played, he made top 16, for example, a draw into top 32. Anyhow, he conceded out of courtesy to give his opponent a qualification because he already had one. And yeah, I made it back to the Pro Tour, which is really amazing. The deck really did the heavy lifting. Lucas and Nico built this, worked on this a lot, tuned it. I made some comments, I chimed in, I play tested against it, but I didn't put as much into this deck. I put time and thought into a lot of other decks, which I will feature. Don't worry about that. In the coming days, I'll show you what I worked on, what I tested. One deck I was really hyped about during a time was 8 field, mono white mid-range with 8 demolition field / field of ruin effects to really wreck some mana bases and then play lay down arms and so on. But anyhow, that's for a later video. No, yeah, we were just incredible dominance in the tournament. The deck was by far, like, I lost 4 times in the tournament, 1 team kill to Toffel, and 3 games in those matches that I lost, I punted away. I mean, I didn't do enough practice games, really. That was an issue. I picked up the deck like on Wednesday. I don't know if you followed my videos. You were like, maybe. I was like saying, I'm not so sure, but I guess I'm happy somewhat. Yeah, I guess I didn't know what broken deck we already had, really. I was like, okay, we have a good version of Esper Legends, which is a good deck, but I didn't think we broke it, you know? But I think we really did have such a superior deck to other people. People were just not prepared, and, you know, you pair that with some play skill, and it turns this into just an incredible weekend for us. Again, you can check out on Twitter some pictures and posts. Yeah, Esper Legends, why did I choose this deck? What are the good matchups? What is this list? I mean, there has been Esper Legends already in the finals in Japan. I think, yeah, the lists were just all over the place, right? People playing Toulouse, Giggs, Random Legends, Knight of Nubinalia, or Guardian of Nubinalia, what have you. And we just, or Nico and Lucas really refined this list and made it clean and lean and just only the best cards. Yeah, only the best cards for Sheoldred. Seems kind of obvious, really, because this card is just completely ridiculous. And you do already provide other must-kill threats. Like, your deck is overloading on Go for the Throat. So Sheoldred just sticks. And I mean, if they kill the first Sheoldred, you just play a second one, and then, you know, they lose. They just lose. This card just says win the game when it sticks, and this deck is completely incredible. And of course, we have 4 Skrelv. Some lists only play 3. I think you gotta play 4. Curving this one on turn 1 into a 2-drop into a 3-drop is just lights out against most decks. This adds the protection to Thalia, which is really phenomenal against some of the decks in the format. Red Grixis is when you go turn 1 Skrelv and turn 2 Thalia on the play. Hard to lose from there. And yeah, I mean, Skrelv protecting your powerful creatures is just all what you want to be doing. For Dennick, I mean, every list is playing for Dennick. I think everybody agrees on that. It's just, you could discard it. You could have both different legendary sides on the board at the same time, which is cool. Works very well against Corpse Appraiser. Not much to explain there. Razorlash Transmogrant is all attacking against Grixis. Pretty obvious. Also decent in the mirror when you're proactive. You can discard it. And, you know, the mirror match doesn't play any basics. normally, so you just get it back for 2 mana. Wedding Announcement is the unusual one that I think Nico or Lucas, some of them tried it, and it just was really good against Grixis. I think Nico went like 4-0 against Grixis, crushing with Wedding Announcement. It makes the Invoke Despair a lot worse. It builds this army of creatures, so it makes their spot removal awkward, and then the Anthem effect at the end is really good, right? Your deck plays only creatures, so this is just pumping everybody, and if you have 2 of them out, it adds up. We all know how good Wedding Announcement is. It's one of the, I don't know, top 5, top 3 cards in Standard, perhaps. Yeah, so the anti-synergy with Thalia, sure, it is legit, and it is annoying, and Wedding Announcement is a bit of a hit or miss card in a mirror match or against aggressive decks. Stuff like mono blue tempo, mono red, you don't really want that card. It's just too slow. And then this anti-synergy with Thalia, obviously awkward, but we expected a lot of Grixis, and we felt really good about all the other matchups already. This deck is quite good against mono red, for example. It's good against mono blue. We found a tech in the sideboard. I already have the sideboard popped up. Usually I have it closed anyhow. That is really good against the Toxic and Solstice matchup, which otherwise would be close. You might have already found that one out if you taking a look. Anyways, I'll talk about that in a second. And yeah, so we were like, we can play a card that's like awkward in those matchups just to improve our Grixis matchup. And yeah, Wedding Announcement just does that. And you know, if Thalia sticks against a Grixis opponent, sure, Wedding might cost more, but you have other free drops or other plays to make, and the Thalia effect is still there, annoying your opponent. So Thalia often gets killed anyways, and if it doesn't, or if she doesn't, then you're winning anyways. 2 go for the throat as just some removal, and we wanted another 2-drop that is a bit flexible. Yeah, Ludevic kind of fits that bill. It has 2 free stats, which is kind of nice. It's good against aggro. Not good against aggro, but decent. You know, like it's just an overall decent card. Not bad against anyone. We just need more 2-drops to curve out, because that's what you really wanted to do in this deck. At the beginning of the list, when they tried it, Nico had like 3 Duress in the main deck, and they played a bunch of Duress. I was pretty skeptical about that. Sure, if you go like Duress turn 1, turn 2 Thalia, and then turn 3 Raffine, and you took like with the Duress, you took the 1 interaction spell they had. Pretty good. Kind of good against Grixis. But I don't know, Duress just felt so awkward in so many matchups. It's even worse than Wedding Announcement sometimes, right? And it just with Thalia is another non-bow, and it's not a proactive threat. So I was advocating, hey, just put creatures into the deck. We are still a creature aggro deck. Put more creatures in. The list back then only had 8 2-drops. Now we have 3 more, which, yeah, pretty much these 3 were Duresses, and the rest of the list didn't change much in the main deck. Maybe the mana base changed a little bit. Yeah, we're playing 8 legendary lands, which is one of the amazing things about this deck, that your mana base, even though you're playing 28 lands, which is a lot, but these lands are just incredible. I mean, 1 mana deal 4 to an attacker or blocker, 1 mana bounce anything. Takenuma, in response to a Corpse Appraiser targeting a Dennick of yours, get that Dennick back into your hand, for example, or just, you know, 1 mana, fetch another Sheoldred from the graveyard to your hand. And then, of course, Plaza of Heroes. This card is ridiculous. It casts every spell in the deck. It makes mana of the color that your legend has. So, for example, Raffine, I played a game against Gabriel Nassif where he only had Plazas, but because he cast Raffine, then he was able to cast with the Plaza his removal spells. I mean, the card just does it all, and in the end it also gives indestructible hexproof to your creatures. Just an incredible mana base for an aggressive deck that essentially you don't flood out really with this deck. And if you ever flood out, as long as you draw Raffine, which is a ridiculous magic card, talking about top 3 cards in Standard, yeah, then you can just connive those lands away. So yeah, that is the main deck. Pretty simple. Adeline turned out to be the best of the bunch of the other 3 drops. Gix, the free stat line isn't that great. Gix is more of a win more card. I mean, I don't hate the card. Toulouse I also don't hate. They're all fine. But the stats are just not great. And Adeline comes in, makes extra attackers, really good with Wedding Announcement too, right? And then Vigilance, 4 toughness is awesome against Brotherhoods and against a Braid and so on. So yeah, Adeline just was the best of the bunch. All right, talking about the sideboard, I made some changes to the deck, by the way. The original list, the one that we used at the tournament, didn't play any Owls. I was one that was advocating for Ow right before deck submission. We had a little discussion, a little back and forth. But because I didn't play enough with the deck, or at least not as much as Nico and Lucas have, I just took their list and was like, okay, I'll run with yours. I trust you. But now in hindsight, I think it would have been better if we had some Ows in there, because the winning list of the tournament was Grixis, which was extremely hateful for creatures. They had 4 cut down, 4 Grixis, 4 Go for the Throw in the main deck, only like 1 Abrade, 1 Bankbuster, really trying to beat creature decks. Also 2 Grixis Command, I believe, in the 75. Grixis Command wipes away our Wedding Announcement tokens while also killing our biggest creature or giving one of their creatures lifelink. Pretty good. Yeah, and Out of the Dawn Sky, I just wanted to have another big Haymaker threat that I could bring in against Grixis. Because this card you can just slam down and it is really majorly annoying. If you have a huge board state, it just pumps everybody after it dies. And if not, you just find a Sheoldred or some other crazy permanent or even 2/2 drops. So this is an incredible value card. Flying Vigilance 5/4, it just kills them. Yeah, I think that would have helped against that Grixis opponent in particular, because they were able to just 1-for-1 with removal and outgrind our Esper list. And Nico, for example, only lost twice in the entire tournament. Went 12-1, took a double draw into the top 8, and then lost in the semis again against the same Grixis player he lost in the Swiss against, that also took down the entire tournament. Congrats. Well-deserved victory for sure. Beating 3 Esper Legends in the top 8, which was kind of funny. But yeah, Out of Dawn Sky I think would have helped a lot, because it gives you that powerful late game card that is just a clean 2-for-1. Yeah. And talking about the rest of the sideboard, cut down simple against the aggressive decks, good in the mirror match. Destroy Evil is our card that we found after testing a lot against Mono White. We tried a lot of different cards. We tried Kaya, we tried Farewell, we tried Soaring, we tried Kaito, all kinds of things. Mono White, turned out that you just want to have a mix of Destroy Evils and Lorans and Disdainful Strokes to fight that matchup. Destroy Evil can get rid of this Paragon while also destroying, you know, Wedding Announcement or Ossification. Go for the Throat, number 3 and 4. You need that card. Yeah, it's just the best clean removal spell in the format, good in the mirror match. It's good against, for example, Furnace Punisher, which is a really good card against this deck. We don't play any basics. Yeah, I guess going forward, actually, I would also make the change of adding a Plains. I'm just realizing that, because Nico and Lucas already played a Plains instead of a Seachrome Coast, but I wasn't convinced of that, because I didn't think that 8 field, like the Field of Ruin deck, would be popular, but it was there. Toffel played against it twice in the tournament, got paired twice against the Mono White deck with like a bunch of Field of Ruin Demolition Field. He beat one, but he lost to another one. And yeah, with the Plains, that matchup becomes a lot better. So yeah, just having a Plains in the deck is probably a smart move. Cutting on a blue source is fine. Yeah, sideboard, another card that we found after testing a long time against soldiers was Malicious Malfunction. It's just the best of the sweepers. Temporary Lockdown is a bit awkward. Malicious Malfunction lets your other creatures survive, right? Like your 2/3s. And it just exiles all the stuff. It is really good, and it is also really good against the emerging green-white toxic deck. We're just like playtesting that matchup. Without sweeper, it's a bit tough, but with the Malicious Malfunction as sideboard, you're doing just fine as long as you draw that card. I also got paired twice against soldiers. I 4-0'd them, no problem. Yeah, and then the rest is Out of Dawn Sky, which I'm trying right now just to make that Grixis matchup better. Out of Dawn Sky, also good in the post-board Esper Mirror, I think. In the post-board Esper Mirror, we bring in a lot of removal, and the games slow down, right? The games slow down, and then Owl comes in as a late game bomb that is, for Esper, also very difficult to kill profitably, right? They can bounce it with Otawara to gain some tempo, but then in the post-board games, the tempo is not that important, because, you know, there's so much removal at play. Usually. I mean, of course it can happen that someone just curves Skrelv into Dennick into Raffine. I don't know if you've watched my feature match against Toffel, where he just had the complete nuts in 2 games in a row. To be fair, I could have won one of those games if I would have played better. I used to go for the throat aggressively, reading into shuffles cards differently, and then he had a Sheoldred as yeah, he had free cards. Anyways, that was a judgment call I made that I think was a punt, and I should not have used my go for the throat. Anyhow, it happened. But yeah, that was a very swingy game too, which also can happen, of course. Yeah, that is the deck. That was the longest intro I've ever did, with some explanation of the tournament and everything. Again, check out my Twitter for more info. And yeah, let's play some games with it, shall we? We are on the play. Very sweet. Yeah, I cannot... I mean, we do not have double white yet, but we're keeping this hand. We have the out of either drawing a white source or plenty of other 2 or 3 mana cards that we can cast. So yeah, happy to keep. Alright. We're playing the Esper directly. What else can you expect? This is one of those times where you attack for the Skrelv here. Play the 3-1 because, yeah, very unlikely that there's any other play as like a 2-drop creature, so just get the damage in. Don't protect the Razorlash, don't care anyways. Dennick this is the best curve you want to be doing in the mirror. 1-1 into 2-3 and then Raffine. Then you got it all. My curve ain't too bad either though. Alright, we go with the Adeline, and then I could slam... No, I'm definitely not attacking with Skrelv, of course. They have a blocker, so we just get in there with the Razorlash. Which is a tiny bit awkward, I guess. I could give unblockable to the 1-1. That would cause a lot more damage. Would cost me 2 life as well, but I'm the one pressuring right now. And I kind of want to keep the 1-1 around. So I think I will give the 1-1, yeah, unblockable from white. And some toxic damage on top. Skrelv giving unblockable also just like, what the heck? Why? Why do you have that text? The card is just outstanding. I don't know, maybe the best card of the entire set. Whoa. That is totally fine by me. The block on the Razorlash means we can get this back later for cheap. Opponent... I mean, okay. If they would have had Raffine, probably correct to keep the Dennick around. Yeah, it could just be the case that we're playing a straight up mirror match here. The list is public. Everybody saw the turn. I mean, yeah, everybody saw how dominating it was. So I might just be playing a straight up mirror match here. Raffine. Okay, so we have the option of 2 incredible cards here. What do we want to deploy? I might just want to deploy Raffine first. So gain a bunch of life. I think Raffine might actually be better as the first play here. We gain a bunch of life next turn when we play Sheoldred. Yeah, this is the nuts. I mean, if you're on the play, you have Skrelv to protect your Sheoldred or Raffine. It's amazing. Although, to be fair, in this particular matchup, I want to do this way. You can get the human first. The question is, do I pump here? I think I just pumped the Adeline. Yeah. The Skrelv does not protect from Eiganjo or Otawara because those are colorless. Alright, what are you doing here? There's the plains already making an appearance. I can do this, maybe? Play this tapped. Should I play this? And then I can play this tapped, have a white painless source. Yeah, this seems reasonable. Yeah, and the thing is, if I target a soldier here and I draw a bunch of lands, which I kind of did, I will make it a 2-2 and they just eat it, so it's not great. Okay, opponent. I don't know what your game plan is by chump blocking there, but yeah, that's fine by me. Passing the turn. A little sus. Maybe an air tie, huh? But air tie... You know, I have Skrelv in play. Air tie doesn't do much against Skrelv. They could just have... Alright, we get to attack. Now I'm gonna pump a human because I want to, you know, like split up my stuff here. Yeah. I will give protection, if you don't mind. From black. I want to say the deck was absolutely incredible. I made 18th place, and 3 of the 4 matches I lost in that tournament. One was a team kill between me and Toffel. I just lost because I played poorly. It was late in the rounds. I was started 6-1 and I lost the last 2 rounds. Played a little unfocused, made slight mistakes, and really cost me games, I believe. And yeah, this deck is just truly outstanding. It is really, really good. That was definitely the takeaway from the weekend. Alright, we're playing the Esper Mirror match. On the draw, vetting is a bit weak. Thalia is very bad. So we're going to cut those, and then we're going to add the cut downs, add the Go for the Throat, add the Owls, try those out, add Destroy Evil. Loran is reasonable if you expect them to have vetting announcement. Knowing that my opponent has Airtie, it makes me think they are not on the list that I played. So I'm not gonna have the vetting, I think. Sorry, I'm not gonna add the Loran. It's also good against Skrelv, of course, but you know, if they don't draw Skrelv, it's a bit weak, right? I have to make one more cut here. The additional card of Owl makes up my sideboarding a bit difficult. You can cut another Lean, cut a Ludevic, Razorlash. You know, the games get a little bit more grindy. I don't think I mind the card too much. I could also cut like a Plains on the draw. You know, the Plains in matchups where there's no Field of Ruin, you can trim it. But I do add just 2 5-drops, so maybe that's not a good idea. Can trim a Skrelv. You know, just a Ludevic. I'll go with 1 Skrelv. I don't think you need the Skrelv as much in this matchup. When you're bringing in all the removal, especially on the draw, you turn a little bit more into that defensive deck. Perfect hand. Really, this is just what you're looking for. And at that point, you know, like a Skrelv in this hand wouldn't really do much anyways. Like, you have to answer things. So Skrelv is decent, but like I think you can trim 1. But I gotta say, we had difference of opinions on how to build and play the deck to lose. Okay, I can cut down that on the stack. I could also use Go for the Throat. I mean, I do have all this expensive removal, which if I use 1, I still have the other 2. Didn't play any early stuff. It's an interesting decision. I'm just gonna use the cut down because it is, you know, it has its, how do you say in English? Requirement? No, I'm looking for a different word, but yeah. Alright, we're drawing our high end here. Alright, alright. Playing 28 lands. We should be fine. Alright, another to lose. Get rid of that. They discarded a Skrelv. You want to kill the trigger on stack so that they don't get any cards back. Actually, can you actually let them discard first? I think you can. Gigs. Alright. Comes down to 3 cards. I don't see a reason to not just slam Owl. Be mana efficient here. Very surprised they have a counterspell in their deck. Post-boarding in this matchup doesn't make a sense. And yeah, they can bounce it if they want to, but you know, we're at 17. This is exactly what I meant by these games play out slower when the removal gets added in. So my theory just panning out perfectly here. I'll use this, this, and this. Keep up a black and a white-blue. Maybe they have an Airtie here. Sure. I'll draw a card. I'm still ahead on board. And we play a Skrelv. Yeah, opponent technically should have done this in the end step, right? And just kill the creature. Sure, this is, you know, This is not gonna win you the game. If they have a Sheoldred here, I just destroy evil. Play this again. Now we have Skrelv in the mix as well. Pass the turn. Another airtie? No, just another Otawara. Yeah, you got it. You gain some tempo, but it ain't gonna matter. Alright. If they discard a Dennick here, things could get sideways. Alright. Go to 10. If I draw land, I'm just gonna play Sheoldred and destroy evil. Right now, I'll just play Raffine and destroy evil. Yeah. Don't want them to draw like another Otawara off the top or something weird. And then I get out-tempoed. So just play it slow. Play free drop. To be fair, I guess they have Plaza, don't they? Yeah, actually, maybe I was supposed to play out there. Yeah, I think I was supposed to play out there, wasn't I? I mean, my line is fine if they don't have Plaza, but them having Plaza, that was just not good. No, that wasn't good. I should have just played ow. Yeah. Can't believe I did that mistake. The deck is not that difficult to play, but I guess a long, exhausting tournament. And yeah, here we are talking. And you miss little things like that. Alright, I'll block here. Take 4. Go to 6. I'll wait with the destroy evil in case they have a Sheoldred. They have a Gix. Alright. I'll just make him use one of these Plazas. But yeah, this was very poorly played. If I just slam an owl there, my opponent likely has no attacks, and I win the game easily. Alright, we have plays. We can just go 2-drop, Sheoldred, or I could just play owl pass. If they have another Otawara off the top, things get ugly, but I mean, they already used 2. So play Sheoldred, I attack Raffine. They can attack me back for the Raffine. Dennick doesn't really add anything to the board. All the creatures are bigger. I think I'll just play Owl. And pass. Yeah. Last turn. Last turn I really gave them a window. Alright, anyhow, let's concentrate. Let's not make any mistakes. Dennick, alright, 5/5, yep. Okay. So we can eat up this Raffine. No, it's not a good idea, huh? Just block like this, go to 2. They draw a card there. Huh. Oh no. Wow. At least it's a lifelink creature. Huh. Alright. No Sheoldred I have to kill in the upkeep. Okay, well. The Caves of Koilos really added up here. Gosh, I just let this game slip away with that one mistake. It's crazy how this snowballed out of control. Raffine is a good card, huh? Pretty good magic card. Amazing. Maybe you just gotta attack with these two? Put counters on a Dennick. I need extra cards here. I need to draw. I was looking for Otawara or Eiganjo. Those would have been really, really nice here. I guess we'll discard these two. I'll just let Al trade if they want to trade. They want to trade, huh? Alright, that's fine. What you gonna do? Get a Sheoldred? I can just kill the Sheoldred. And then I have Sheoldred advantage on the board. Which, I mean, this card is incredible in the mirror match. Especially against Raffine, of course. Okay. That's just fair, I suppose. With that, I'll just kill the Raffine then. Does the Raffine even do enough here? They lose a lot of life during attacks now, but they can pump up this Dennick if they attack everybody. It's probably best just killing the Raffine. I mean, if they draw exactly Sheoldred, I'll regret that decision, but if not, I think it is the right play. Kaito in the mirror, alright.
Hope you're ready for some mind games.
I don't think these Planeswalkers are that great, because this is gonna be games that are too snowbally and where you're behind and there's lots of creatures on the board and Planeswalkers can't just be attacked, especially by flyers. So I kind of like stuff like Owl more because you just like put it on the board. It's not much risk involved. Owl is like fine when you're behind or on the, if you're ahead. It has its weakness to Otawara, of course, but otherwise, yeah. Okay. What is our play here? I could just flash back to Dennick, get some card advantage going. This seems to be a more grindy affair. I have this Sheoldred, so I can start. I can also give unblockable, kill the... Every creature they have is blue. Right, this is blue. So I can give unblockable to the Sheoldred, pump the Sheoldred, attack with both. If I hit 2 creatures, I put this on 6. They block here, I Eiganjo that. They take 6, go to 5, then they lose 3, go to 3. It doesn't seem that good, honestly. I think I just played a little slower. Still attack with both. But pump the Raffine and don't give unblockable. Don't give anything. Alright. I'll discard Raffine. I guess Sheoldred, huh? I have Skrelv to protect Sheoldred anyways. Both get a clue. They can do some double blocks. But they really would have to triple block to kill the Sheoldred. This is not gonna cut it. I have an Eiganjo. And there's no reason not to crack the clue. Maybe we draw land. Deck is kind of mana hungry. Would play a land there. if I would draw one. Alright, we got him. Nice. Okay, we're on a draw here. Bit of a dicey one. Our mana base isn't great, but we do have Plaza, which is the best land. We have Skrelv, no 2-drop, double vetting. If they kill our Skrelv, we can't even cast those vettings. Would be nice to know what we're playing against. I think it's a close one, but I'm gonna try it. We have 2 drops we can draw into. Double vetting can be pretty good against some opponents. And if we draw lands, we have Otawara and Takenuma, which we can use. So like this hand has a lot of upside to it. But in general, I would advise to mulliganing pretty aggressively with this deck. Now we have all the legendary lands. No reason not to just play this. It looks like we're playing against Domain. Hope they don't have a Fable here. They do. Raffine. Adeline. I think I'm just going to play Adeline here. Don't think I'll need this anytime soon. You usually want to deploy Adeline or Raffine or Wedding before Raffine. It depends on the game state. If you're playing against mono red or whatever and you have a Dennick out, you want to get the Raffine going as quick as possible with the Dennick, of course, to get that onto that trivial 4 toughness against mono red. But here I want to have more creatures out, like Wedding producing 1/1s or Adeline producing 1/1s, and then play Raffine, so I get that instant huge connive, or the more creatures the better, of course. And here is also nice to have a 2-power creature and Skrelv to protect it, so they can't profitably attack me, likely. Yeah, Kami 1 Fable in the bin. Third migration, okay. So them binning Kami War tells me that they probably have a... Interesting. Alright, I mean... It was worth a shot, I guess. Maybe I... You know, like you... I don't know what to say about that, really. Like, this is just... Thinking I wouldn't activate Skrelv? Come on. Now it's time to play Raffine. And then the question is, do I want to... No, I don't even have the option to Otawara, because I only have 1 blue source or play the Otawara. So if they block here, I can Eiganjo this thing, I guess. So I'll probably just do that. And there's no reason not to keep up the Plaza, because as long as I have Raffine in play, Plaza makes every color in my deck. Not this one. Adeline, make a 1/1, connive 2. Dennick, go away. And... Vetting. I think Vetting is a bit slow here. And 2 of our lands also do something, so... The block there. I'm going to use the opportunity to Eiganjo. But against the 5-color Domain deck, I really don't even want them to chump attack and gain a treasure. I just, you know, no extra mana at all. Stay fair. So, yeah, game 1 I don't have Disdainful Stroke, so I just buy all the time I can. Take away all the mana I can so they don't get to a Truxa or whatever powerful thing they have. Alright, and again, you know, like this deck, they just conceded here. We were on the draw this game. They had a Fable turn 3. Yeah, I mean, they made a big punt. They could have killed the Skrelv. But killing a Skrelv, I mean, technically doesn't matter that much. I mean, I guess if they had more leyline bindings, it does matter a lot. But we still would have had a pretty big board position. Because, yeah, they have to use their leyline binding on Skrelv before they can use it on Raffine and such. It's so good. Okay, I don't have an official sideboard guide for this matchup. Loran, Destroy Evil, and Disdainful Stroke all look pretty good. Ludevic is one of these cards that you can board out often if you want to. Go for the fruits. I mean, they have the Goblin. Shaman, which is a card on the draw you might want to kill. Transmogrant is interesting against them because they do play a decent amount of basics. They play like, I don't know, depending on list, play like up to 8 basics. So Transmogrant can be bad, but of course they play also a lot of non-basics. I think Owl is not that good because of Leyline Binding. Vetting Announcement is a question mark, I guess. I do like Thalia, I like Skrelv, I like Dennick. You never cut Dennick. I never cut Dennick from the deck. Raffine too. Never cut that card. Sheoldred I did trim actually. I trimmed it against someone who had 4 mind control effects. Yeah. Mind control not that good against Otawara, but if you don't draw Otawara, you deploy a Sheoldred, they mind control it, which happened to me twice in this tournament against 2 mono blue opponents, and they just Sheoldred, just insane out of mono blue. Anyways, vetting is a bit slow, I think. I'll cut a go for the throat. Cut the Transmogrant. Yeah, we're adding a free drop here. Might be a bit too much interaction now. I think it's fine. Again, I do not know this matchup well. Vetting usually good in grindy matchups. But against Domain, they go so much over the top that, you know, a couple 1/1s and a him probably doesn't matter on my side, so I just want to tempo. I think this is one of those hands that you can just mulligan. Like, the deck really does mulligan fine. We don't have any dual lands, which is not great. And yeah, we don't have a third land either, so... There's potential, of course. We have Thalia on turn 2, but hey, just take a mulligan. Alright, this is really bad too. So we're going to take another mulligan. Oh my god. Luck is not on my side right now. I mean, this does not happen that often. Sure, we're playing a deck full of legends, but this is a bit much. Let's just keep it this way and hope that my opponent deploys some enchantments, and yeah, we go from there. I was gonna go to 4. First enchantment. Nice, we got the blue. But yeah, I mulliganed 2-5 in Naples twice, and I won both those games. Both those games I just went 1-2-3. But yeah, I mean, yeah, that's what the deck does. Guess I'll destroy the Fable. I don't want them to have card advantage. Not card advantage, but card selection. Block the Fable token and then go from there. Yeah. Don't really care much about the likeness right now. So I think I'll just play Raffine. The question is, which land do I want to play? I think Otawara has more utility here. So I'm going to keep that in hand. And I don't really care about this 3/3. This just can attack me for a couple turns. My life total is mostly irrelevant. Yeah, no blocks. Although, maybe I could even block, but I don't know. I don't even want to give them any of this mana. Oh, that's a nice one. Yeah, let's just play that. Well, opponent not having any instance at all. I would have expected, like, I don't know, at least a Leyline Binding. Drag to the bottom, I guess, is a card. It gives -5/-5 right now. So I want to be aware of that. Maybe bin these two. Maybe Thalia. Thalia could really take them off mana here. Vetting is not bad with this board state. It's a more powerful card. But I think I'll like the Thalia again because I suspect that the mana is pretty important. If I would have kept open a white here, I could have deployed the Thalia post-combat. Well, luckily I kept my Loran because I found a good target for the card. Split my odds here a little bit. Or do I just pump this into out of drag to the bottom range? Yeah, I'll just pump it one more time. Destroy evil, okay. So we can go Loran, Thalia, and discard these two, keep a Destroy Evil in hand as last card. Yeah. Oh, well, This way we don't pump this out of drag to the bottom range. A Plains and a drag to the bottom would really get me. If they only have drag to the bottom, I just lose my small stuff. They can't cast a truck, so they don't have white mana. This is a pretty slow land heavy version. So they can't have that many basics. So maybe they just play 5 basics each. Like 1 each. Alright. Oh, Plaza. That is always a nice one. Especially in such a situation. Yeah. We'll just play Raffine, the one man, the one woman, actually. I think Raffine is female. One woman army here. Opponent stuck with those leyline bindings and a Truxa in hand, perhaps. Yeah, 5 color mana bases. Doing their thing sometimes, or not. On the play, what do we have? Yeah, that's a keep. 1 mana away from Sheoldred, Thalia into Adeline. Can't ask for more. That is Yatar's Proving Ground, turn 1. The wedding announcement. No! But yeah, I mean, this could just be Rakdos Atraxa with the rest in the main deck, very likely. It's that. What do you got? Go for the throat on Adeline. Edict. I have more Thalias, so sack that. Yeah, Edict, not a great card, honestly. Not a big fan. I playtested with it because I thought it was like good. Like the modis and stuff, but I play 4 go for the throats before I play Edict. Even as a one-off for cruelty, I don't do that anymore. In those decks, just go for the throat. It's just such a much better card, as you just saw there. I mean, if my opponents go for the throat Adeline, it's a whole different game. And that shows you like what a difference it can make. A Truxa, I assume this is my opponent, what they're on. So I'm gonna board accordingly. Dennick is fantastic. Ludevic, again, you can cut. Go for the throat. I mean, unfortunately, I don't know my opponent's deck list, which is a thing we, of course, had in an open deck list. We just saw what the opponent was on. But yeah, I'll cut some of the, and you can cut a Skrelv. Vetting, I think, is fine because they mostly win against you the grindy way, anyways. So you take out Adeline, you can cut a Eiganjo and Plains on the draw. You can trim down on lands, and you can add Lawrence, Ow, Destroy Evil, Disdainful Stroke. I have to cut 1 more card because, again, the Ow is in the mix now, the extra Ow. That would have been a cut down, which we wouldn't bring in here. Skrelv is also reasonable. Like, I think when you're on the play, you might want to do like go lower on this stuff. But I think because we're on the draw, we play like 1 evil to go for the throat. This can kill the Goblin Shaman, which can be annoying. And yeah, this looks pretty good. Although again, a little bit of an issue here. 26 lands. I'm boarding in a 5. It's a bit of a non-bow. Maybe in the end you just want 1 Ow in the sideboard. Maybe that's just plenty, because I mean, we had Ow in the deck at the beginning when we tested it, but you just want to curve out every game. That's so important, to just curve out and keep your opponent on their toes. If you ever take a turn off, it's pretty, it's not great. So yeah, that's why we didn't want that many 5-drops. We didn't want our hand to clunk up. So the Ow just moved to the sideboard and then moved away from the deck altogether. So maybe me putting now 2 Owls in the deck is the wrong recipe. But yeah, I think the card is at least a one-off. I would definitely do. I think the card is pretty good. Another option would be Edgar Charmed Groom. I haven't tested that card, but it is quite good against black decks. What? A Field of Ruin? Alright, now I'm confused. Gosh, I cut a planes from my deck, didn't I? I moved the planes to my sideboard? Well, it's very surprising to see a Field of Ruin here. They're not deploying it. Good for me. They're not using it. Well, I'm gonna put that planes back into my deck. Jesus Christ. So I'm playing against Rakdos midrange, I guess. Loran on time. Okay, that's pretty good. I think I just want to play Raffine here. I just gotta get onto the board. Betting is a bit slow. Attack. Discard. Transmogrant. Which won't be that good against my opponent if they play Field of Ruin at basics. I likely just play against the Rakdos midrange deck with Field of Ruin, I would guess. And the rest in the main deck, which, yeah, makes sense. It's just an unlikely deck to face. That's why I put them on Rakdos Atraxa. Oh, okay. Hellraising. Hellraiser goes around Dennick. It doesn't target. It's just exiles free at random. Cut down, that works. The games where your red-black opponent has Fable and the games where they don't are so different. Like Fable, yeah, especially when you're on the draw, is like just by far and away the best card. They have 3 Fables this game. And I draw my second owl, of course. Yeah, okay. Really regretting my decision there. Well, you usually win game 1 easily, or not easily, but usually win game 1. That's at least the plan. Game 2, if they have Fables, all right, you might lose, especially if they're 3 of them. But then for game 3, when you're on the play again, Fable loses a lot of its. I mean, Fable's still great, you know. You hope that they never draw Fable, honestly, but it is a lot less punishing, I guess. Because you have a board position, a goblin might not do much, and they just might get pressured. It's weird to not play a deck with Fable, but nonetheless, this deck is amazing. I mean, Raffine and Vetting are both, you know, maybe Fable top 1, Raffine. I mean, Sheoldred's got to be in the mix too, I guess. I don't know, Raffine, Scheming Seer, Vetting Announcement, Sheoldred. Those are like the top 4 cards in the format. And we play 3 of them. Oh, it's just Jund as well. Alright. Jund with Field of Ruin. Let's go. Why not? I mean, honestly, I'll just ditch the Disdainful Stroke. I think my game plan here is to just slam AO and hope that's good enough. I'm not gonna keep up a Disdainful Stroke anytime soon. Although these Kikis are gonna kill me, I guess. Just gonna copy each other end step and then kill me. Yeah. The games you lose often just involve Kiki and Fable. Alright, I'll play on, I guess. My opponent had a pretty decent draw. My draw was underwhelming. And pretty decent draw. My opponent had an insane draw. Hellraiser, Exile, Invoke. Actually played against the Junt opponent. Iliad Basso was on Hellraiser with Invoke. Now they're gonna make a bunch of Kiki copies and kill me. Play Vetting. I just hope they don't do it. Alright, Alright, they know what's up. This is lethal. I only have 3 blockers. They have plenty of attackers. Alright, put the planes back into the deck. Jesus Christ. Ow, out of here. Destroy evil. I mean, they have Hellraiser, huh? So we do want Disdainful Stroke. I like Skrelv on the play. Be a bit more proactive if possible. Maybe just cut another Ow for another Lean. Again, like Ow kind of stuck in my hand, was a bit awkward. Razorlash, how good are you even here? Someone with basics? I think it's still gonna be good. Like, look at these. They don't have many basics. I don't even know what's going on. They probably play like one random Field of Ruin. This seems reasonable to me. Yeah. Curve out, be proactive. Like, this deck doesn't slam dunk red-black decks, especially not if they are prepared. For example, that Grixis opponent, Grixis player who took down the entire tournament. Sorry, I don't remember the name. It was something like Meerbuck. I think an Austrian player who played like his first tournament or his first big tournament or something. It was quite the story. Yeah, that deck, like 4 cut down, 4 go for the throat, Grixis command. That's how you beat this deck. So if you want to beat this deck, there's things you can do. But yeah, against normal Grixis lists that just try to beat the mirror, because that person really didn't try to beat the mirror at all. Normal, like, yeah, Grixis lists that try to beat the mirror, play like 7 inside, Razorlash Transmogrant, stuff like that. They're of course a lot worse against Esper. But it's not a walk in the park, you know. It's like, it's not that easy. Yeah, I think this hand's good enough. I have Thalia on turn 2 on the play, which is awesome. If I draw 1 land, I have Raffine. Yeah, the odds of me being successful with this hand are great. I have Dennick in case things go sideways. I drew the land immediately. Awesome. They might have cut down. I could attack first. I'll just force the issue. Could attack first and then vetting after they cut down. They're thinking about not killing Thalia. Yeah, cut down is one of the big. It might just be the best card out of black against this deck. I mean, Sheoldred is fantastic too, but cut down really, like, a hand on the draw without a cut down. Just pack it already up, you know. Pack it up. You don't even have to play. This is good though. This is really, really good. Now I have the option to slam. I mean, I have multiple options now. I was going to probably just slam the Sheoldred, but now I could just go 2-drop, 2-drop. Vetting, I could also do that. They already used to go for the throat. But going 2-drop, 2-drop is pretty nice. I think that's my choice here. And then next turn I play the Sheoldred likely. They might have land Brotherhoods, and that would be punishing. Like, for exactly these games, you want Ow, I think. It's like when your opponent goes cut down to go for the throat, turn 5 Ow on the play is pretty good. Now I cut the card because I was too afraid of mana issues. They can't cast Unleash, but they can cast a removal. So I think in this open mana, I'm just going to cast my Wedding and draw a card here. Don't commit my Sheoldred quite yet. They're probably just going to kill Thalia end of turn. Gonna destroy my Plaza, sure. I have a Plains now. Playing an Invoke Despair deck and a Capricious Hellraiser deck and playing Fit of Ruin in your deck is a level of greediness that I don't know. I can't fathom, honestly. Unleash the Inferno is phenomenal here. I at least get to draw a card out of this Wedding, so it's not quite 2-for-1, you know? That was pretty good. They have a red land and Hellraiser, and I play Sheoldred here. I lose the game on the spot, pretty much. But then they need red land, untapped, and Hellraiser. How many untapped red lands they have? I guess they have 4 Haunted Ridge, 3 Springs, that's 7. And then like 1 or 2 mountains, 8. I had 16 life. I think I just got a jam. It's unfortunate that this came into play untapped. Would have made this turn a lot more comfortable from my perspective. I can't believe what they did here. They're playing a 3-color deck with Hellraiser and Invoke and multiple Field of Ruin. At least 2. Outrageous. Sorry, but they're literally gonna lose games to their mana problems. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. That's a pretty good card against my deck. It does cleanly kill Sheoldred and Raffine, and it goes around Plaza of Heroes and Skrelv. That card is really excellent against this deck. Junt, oof, we're drawing another land. Yeah, alright. Junt has the tools. Again, an owl here. Pretty good. Sadly, I boarded those out. I don't know why, but I did. You're gonna kill that. Alright. I actually like the other version anyways more, so thank you. Play the land, I guess. With some good top decks, I might be back in this. That is not gonna resolve. Raffine off the top. Sure, alright. Not the worst card to draw. They have another removal. But now, exile. Damn it. Thought I would get a clue at least. Not a land, yikes. Not even a plaza. Yeah, flooded out a bit. That's interesting. I guess they're looking for the red for Hellraiser, I see. Yeah. What did they hit? They hit a charm. Oh, they hit these 3? Okay, so. Alright, I lose. I mean, this was a close one. They had kind of every answer they needed. They had the Unleash. Yeah. What can you do? Thalia. I mean, I haven't lost yet. I could still draw out of this, but... yeah. I hit the Invoke. Alright, I'm done. I'm done. Alright guys, outro time. I think I've already said plenty about the deck in the intro. The deck is not unbeatable, but it was the best choice clearly for last weekend in Naples. If you want to beat this deck, I recommend playing black. Very much, a lot of removal. Junt with Unleash the Inferno and Riveteer's Charm is fantastic. Of course, there's some tools there, and then you have in black, you have Cut Down, Go for the Throat, Gix's Command, Sheoldred. There's ways you can build Grixis, again, that beat this strategy. But not every Grixis list is built in a way to beat aggro decks, and on those decks you can prey with Esper. And of course, Esper is a proactive deck that just does its thing, is very, very powerful, and just runs over people, so it doesn't matter what you get paired against. You have this proactive game plan. Well, you're playing a deck like Mono White or Grixis, you run into the issue of being reactive and not being able to defend yourself against a powerful proactive draw from the opponent. One reason why I like this deck a lot more than Soldiers and Toxic is its resilience against the commonly played board wipes. Stuff like Brotherhood's End is a lot worse against the deck bunch of 4 toughness creatures. And temporary lockdown and so on and so on. Also, this deck, sometimes it doesn't even matter to curve out perfectly because your cards are all incredibly good. Even if you draw them later in the game, like a Dennick or Raffine, Adeline, whatever it may be, they still do stuff. The deck is just, I mean, Raffine Scheming Seers especially are just an obnoxiously good card in the deck. It is totally ridiculous. I truly felt the difference between playing this on turn 3 or not having it on turn 3. There's no doubt you would play like 6 or 7 copies of the card in the deck, I believe, maybe even 8, if you could. Alright, I think with that being said, I mean, this is not my favorite archetype ever, not my favorite deck to play, but I cannot state enough the amount of time and work that Nico and especially Lucas put into this deck. And it was a blast to play this deck because you just felt so much more ahead of everybody else. And that was Esper Legends. And in the next videos, I'll show you some of the decks that I was working on or spicy brews that other people brought to the tournament. See you then. Bye-bye.